Yours truly, Black Lightning Longer.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Time, y'all.
Casper, Wyoming, are you ready?
Time, y'all.
There's only one thing left to
Are
say.
y'all ready? What's up?
Let's get ready for the Ultimate Rumble!
Oh yeah, we talking about war time.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
That's the ultimate rumble. You better believe that.
I need him 1 more minute. All right, champ, you've been doing all the talking. You've done all of your stuff something live on television. What rounds when you knocked him out? I'm not calling out. Only one thing while we live and you can't erase it. You always said, Muhammad, you're not the man you were 10 years ago, right? Right. Well, I'm going to ask your wife, are you the man you was last year? You got a quick ahead to the...
60 pounds. This Olympic medalist now has a perfect professional record of 37 fights, 37 victories, including 33 knockouts. His KO percentage, the greatest in middleweight championship history. From Karaganda, Kazakhstan.
We're having a fight party tonight, y'all. Tune in. We're going to watch Mike Tyson knock out this youngin. Who does he knock?
Hey, what up? What up? What's up? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. How do I do this? I gotta do it like this. Oh, yeah. What up, y'all? Black Ophenham Lion TV. I muted myself. See, as long as you got the lights, you know, you all right. Then when as soon as you don't have the lights no more. Talking like in a Chinese movie. Well, I'm talking about the old movies where they used to have the dubbed in American English substituting Chinese. You know that ain't gonna be hard. I mean, an easy task to do. So yeah, I'm right here with y'all. I guess I'm gonna have to be your war correspondent for a minute, because you know, I like to keep it gangster. We like to keep it on the gangster, on the Nightmare Fuel and the mobster files. You know how I do it. But in the meantime, in between time, can I do this one time?
600 poor, illiterate African American sharecroppers were recruited with promises of medical care. Only 399 actually had the disease, but none were told their true diagnosis. The participants believed they were receiving treatment, unaware that they were part of a secret experiment. The men received meals, basic assistance, and funeral insurance as incentives, but not the cure. Even after penicillin was discovered as an effective treatment in 1947, the study continued until 1972. Victims included infected wives and children born with congenital syphilis. The case became a symbol of institutional racism and medical abuse. In 1997, Bill Clinton issued a formal apology.
This will actually make life with me because, wait a minute. I thought it was, but maybe not, because I'm not editing the way I was editing before. But we definitely stepping up our game, because I can't be using my phone to do no broadcast, because I might have a phone call coming in. What's up? What's up? You know. So that's what's up. Wait a minute, which camera I got on? Okay, we got the 4K camera on. Good. All right. We got the phone over here as a backup, just in case. But let's see, the phone can die. This ain't going nowhere, baby. Now, what I was trying to say is, oh, that's right, I remember. Is saying, what's the topic? The topic? We in a goddamn war. Shit. That's the topic. You get how you gonna get past that? Let's get this. Let's just say the midterms. Maybe we get this fool up out of here, and make some peace negotiations. Send Obama. I think he can get us out of this because, man, it's a lot of BS. Now the gas prices going up. Hey, thank God I like electric bikes, electric cars, whatever electric, I'm going to use it. So, yeah, let's get back to, let's find out what's happening with the war over here. Because it ain't no fun when the rabbit.
And good evening. We begin tonight with the escalating battle over one of the world's most vital shipping channels. The U.S. and Iran trading new threats around the Strait of Hormuz, sending gas prices skyrocketing here in the U.S. This new video just into our newsroom showing strikes on more than a dozen Iranian vessels, including what the military said were ships that could have laid explosive mines in the strait. The president warning if Iran attacked us there, the U.S. would hit back even harder. That comes just hours after the defense secretary vowed, in his words, the most intense day of strikes yet. That intensity on full display in these new videos. Launchers firing and intercepting Iranian missiles in the sky. Iranian launchers, the U.S. says, were hitting in tunnels and under overpasses, blown to bits. And this, Iranian boat after boat after boat going up in flames. All of it as we're learning more about the toll this war is taking on our service members.
Tell you what, you know what they say, bullets fly both ways. So the rockets, you know what I mean? Hey, so just when we thought we could concentrate on getting more equipment up in here, well, we did that part. I'm like, man, are you ready? You know what I mean? So the Black Ophidum Lion TV in there. He is, so I think I'm ready. Hold up. Let me put some light on the situation. Gotta put some natural light on it. Yeah. That's what we need. We need some natural light. Only one thing, though, it'd be glaring me up. Oh, my God. All right. Are you ready? People. You know they're going to be drafting and some more stuff. So, are you ready? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. So, if you ain't ready, better get ready. You know what I mean? Let's say 18 to 27. And, shoot, they might go all the way up to 60 or something.
The Pentagon announcing some 140 wounded, in addition to the 7 that have already been killed. Our teams are covering the latest, and we start with...
They know not to give me a rifle. I'm like, man, we're going to escape.
A massive wave of U.S. and Israeli strikes on the Iranian regime and a wild ride for oil prices. In part to this post from Energy Secretary Chris Wright that, quote, the U.S. Navy successfully escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. Wright quickly deleting the post.
I can confirm that the U.S. Navy has not escorted a tanker or a vessel.
They can't get through. It's too small.
Warning Iran to stop threatening oil tankers.
As soon as they go around that corner, they see all them Iranian ships waiting on them.
To hold the world hostage and attempt to stop the global oil supply. And if Iran does anything to do that, they'll get hit at a much, much harder level.
And oil prices tonight plunging down to around $86 a barrel. All as inside Iran, the Pentagon says it struck over 5,000 targets.
Today will be yet again our most intense day of strikes inside Iran. The most fighters, the most bombers, the most strikes.
Including taking out hidden missile launchers.
Ballistic missile attacks continue to trend downward, 90% from where they've started. And one-way attack drones have decreased 83%.
Though Iran still launching attacks on its Arab neighbors. This video showing an Iranian drone chased by a United Arab Emirates fighter jet. In Bahrain, the government says a woman was killed during an Iranian strike on a residential neighborhood. Tonight, new questions over the war's timeline, with President Trump saying the U.S. is, quote, very far ahead of its initial 4 to 5 week schedule.
It's going to be finished pretty quickly.
Yeah,
also,
right.
We've already won in many ways.
Oh, man, come on. Propaganda machine keep turning up.
Also suggested he should
How many
have
deaths?
picking the
American.
new Iranian leader. We pressed the White House.
Is the ending of this war also contingent on Iran selecting a leader that the president finds acceptable? And if so, how is that not the
They
definition
supposedly,
of a regime change war?
Look, as President Trump has
the new leader,
blatantly and
which
frankly
is the
stated,
old
it's
leader's
obviously
son,
within the best
they had
interest of the United
assassinated.
States
So they tried to
and the
assassinate
West
the new leader.
to no longer have
and,
a radical
maimed him or
terrorist
something.
in charge
Disfigured.
of
Yeah,
Iran.
it said
We have objectives
disfigured,
that we have
but
laid out that the
allegedly,
commander-in-chief wants
you
to
know,
see
'cause
achieved.
you don't know
And
what
now
to
the
believe
new
now.
image
All
of the
this
5 members
propaganda.
of the Iranian
Keep
women's soccer
burning,
team just granted
baby.
asylum in Australia.
You know what I'm saying.
Iranian
Get the
state
cash
TV
out
branded
before
them
you.
traitors for
Matter of fact, we'll
protesting
put
the
that on the
Iranian
screen.
regime by refusing to sing
The
the national
Benevolent
anthem.
Fund.
Yesterday on the team bus, players had flashed a sign for help as crowds chanted, "Save our girls."
They are safe here and they should feel at home here.
Garrett joins us tonight again from the White House. So I know you have new reporting on the U.S. service members
And
who've been
today is
injured in this war.
Friday, March
That's right, Tom. The Pentagon saying
13th,
140 service members or
2026.
so have been wounded, most of them with minor injuries, and they've returned to duty, but 8 are considered severely injured. And last night, the dignified transfer ceremony for Army Sergeant Benjamin Pennington was held. He's the 7th service member killed in this war. Tom?
All right, Garrett. All that uncertainty over the shipping channel as well in the Middle East. The price of oil may have gone down today, but the price of gas still skyrocketing.
We talking
Camila
about
Bernal
shipping
now, the impact
canal.
those prices are
It's gonna
having.
be hard to get through there, boy.
Fallout
Little narrow
from the
gap,
war, plain to
almost
see
like the
at
movie
every gas
300.
station across the U.S.
You know what I mean?
The price of
They
a
had to
gallon
come
of
through a
gas
narrow
now
gap.
up 55 cents since the war began.
It definitely makes us second guess some of the financial decisions.
The price of gas has gone sky high, and y'all, we caught in the middle of it, one way or another. You know what I mean?
Drive for rideshare and delivery services for about 10 hours a day.
What is it like for you when you drive around and you see gas at $5.79 a gallon?
Makes me sick.
$5.79 a gallon.
Also hitting hard for
What?
farmers just beginning the spring planting season.
I have a tractor that requires 100 gallons of diesel fuel to fill it up, and it costs me $469.
John Bull
Damn!
grows soybeans.
Ain't
corn,
no
and
way
wheat
in the
at
world
a
I'm gonna have a
fourth-generation
vehicle
family
here.
farm
Yeah,
in
over
Virginia.
man,
Says the
fill mine up.
fertilizer supplier
It
can't
don't
even
cost me
deliver what
nothing,
he needs.
actually.
Due to the war and the bombing through that
Ah.
area, the fertilizer
Don't cost
isn't
nothing
moving,
when
which
you
means it won't be readily
dealing with
available
electric
at
vehicles. See,
all
now
to me
that's
right now.
what
And
everybody
Josie's
needs to get
Flowers
an
in
electric
North
vehicle.
Hollywood,
And I'm looking at
Fernando
some
has already
that
raised
have
prices
solar
for
power.
deliveries by 20%.
Solar powered
If I
electric
have to get
vehicle.
the gas every
It got
every
solar
time,
power
it's gonna
panel
hurt.
on the hood,
It's
and
gonna
solar
hurt.
power panel on the rooftop.
And people are paying between $5 and
Gas.
$15 more on average in comparison to
Gas.
last week to fill up their gas tanks. But with pressure on the oil
As a
market,
matter of fact,
those prices
who thought
could
it was
continue
wise
go
to
up.
go
We
and
thank
mess
you for
around with
watching,
how
and
deep
remember,
that the
stay
damn
updated
gas
on breaking
tank?
news and top
Yeah,
stories
I mean,
on the
at the-
NBC News app
at the
or watch
pumps
live on our
anyway.
YouTube channel.
He's like, come on, man.
It's so easy to become
No.
a podcaster with Riverside. You just need a constant.
Yeah, it's like, shoot, they already got you one way or another. So it's like, man, come on, give a brother a break with that nonsense. But I can't have too much war without a little bit of music. And that way I can take their banner down and put my banner up. I know y'all like that a lot better. As a matter of fact, here's one for the people. Wherever you are, you know that you're a superstar, baby. Wherever you go, you know that you're a superstar, baby. Man, that ain't what I expected, but you know, I'm kind of like, I'm just learning this stuff. Come on, let me put me on blast while I'm doing this. Oh wait, man, that ain't very much blast, man. Oh well, we're figuring things out. Now, meanwhile, hopefully no drone flies over the house, and then the studio will go bye-bye. But, you know, Man, we living in some crazy times. That's all I gotta say. So what y'all gonna do about it? What y'all ready to do about it? Is y'all ready to, get up in arms about it? Because somebody else said we need to go over there? Come on, man, give me a break with that. It was like, what? You suggested I do what? Now, we both know that that's a damn dumbass idea, but I ain't gonna rag them out too much. Whoa. Wait a minute. Damn. I'm having a hard time with the system, y'all. Bear with it, brother. If I can knock this thing out, it'll be good to go. Golly. Okay. All right. I gotta looking for this little war piece there, And once I find that, we're good to go. Yeah. But in the meantime, what happened to the screens now? Yeah. Okay. Work with all this new stuff, I have no idea. It's like, man, I enlarged one and then messed up. Maybe I shouldn't have enlarged nothing. Damn. All right, well, oh, damn, I finally got it, y'all. Oh, but back to my people. Here we go. I'll give y'all a little more war correspondent. From the Black Oldham Lion TV. To me, it's sort of like this. Quiet as a mouse in a lion's cage. What? Uh-oh. See, that one woke. Oh, shit. You don't want to do that. A little Charlie Chaplin for, the light and load. I saw some Step and Fetch It that was funny as hell, but that's like degrading to my people, so I just can't do it. Y'all put a 1 in the comments if y'all want me to do it anyway. That's black folks. I don't really know. Never mind. You know what I'm saying. If my people want to see it. Otherwise, I'm like, no, that's degrading to our folks. That's degrading to us, so we can't mess around with nothing. We can't mess around with nothing that's degrading us. All I gotta say.
Now the U.S. is sending 3 Navy warships and more than 2,000 Marines to the Middle East. What more are you hearing about that?
Diane, yes, we have new reporting that 2,200 Marines based in Japan will be transported across on 3 amphibious ships, which is pretty standard. It's called an amphibious ready group. And they normally patrol inside the Indo-Pacific area, which is Asia. But instead, they have been ordered and redirected towards the Middle East. What is important about this is that these are ground forces. We've talked about ships, we've talked about fighter aircraft, but this is a ground force that also includes aviation. They also
That's the last thing in the world they want to do in the Middle East is have
these ships. But from what we understand, this doesn't mean that the United States is preparing a ground force to go into Iran. This is just a capability, an option that is available to military planners because they always want to have as many forces available as needed. And these Marine units,
like asking
this
Floyd
31st
Mayweather,
unit,
would you like to
brings a lot of options and a lot of variability to the
better
table.
yet,
Now, the question is,
so
how long will they
ask
be there?
Mike
And is it
Tyson if he'd
possible
like to
that
be the
we
guy
may
who
see
won
further
one more
of
time.
these units headed out to the Middle East as well?
Hell yeah!
And Louis, what are you watching for next?
Well, one of the things that we've talked about is what happens to the uranium stockpile. We've heard shifting narratives about how the United States is going to try maybe to use ground forces to try to seize some of the 430 kilograms of enriched uranium that Iran possesses, which most of it is believed to be underground at those facilities that were bombed by the United States.
Countdown Meeting Ultra, 360 AI conference host with dual touch screens. Easily set up and start any.
Well, we don't want none of their hybrid meetings or nothing. We got to stay on track. There's a war going on, and make sure that our people don't get in it. That's the damn sure. That's the main thing, you know. Because I put some music on. So make sure none of ours get got in this ill-gotten fade. And it's definitely a fade. A big fade. The kind they don't want. The kind that shouldn't be happening. But, back to the And the real diversionary tactic is that Epstein ain't even dead. Everybody know it. They just showing his emails and stuff all over the place. He giving money to people that was involved left and right. Some lady at the prison, something, $5,000, I guess to her, that's $1 million. You know, if you want to be ghetto rich for a day. But I say, where the baby is? And did they really not know that that was an Iranian school when they bombed it, huh? Of course they did. Their intelligence ain't that unintelligent. And I'm just reporting the news. Well, reporting the blues. What can I say? Somebody's got to do it. And here we are, stuck in the middle of it.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update.
No, you don't. Subscribe to nothing except Black Ophenham Lion TV. That's the only thing you need. Now, let's get to the next. Oh, yeah, we definitely need to see this. Breaking news, y'all. Breaking news this morning.
The U.S. Central Command just confirmed the death of 4 service members in the war with Iran. The 4 fallen Americans are crew members of a refueling aircraft that went down in western Iraq yesterday.
That's
Central
the
Command
okey-doke.
is saying that rescue efforts continue for 2 others on board. They say
There's
the
a whole
incident
lot
was
more.
not due to hostile or friendly fire. Joining me now to discuss, CNN military analyst and retired U.S. Air Force
Hostile
Colonel
and friendly
Cedric Leighton.
fire.
Good morning, Colonel
They be
Leighton. I want
shooting at each other.
to get your help
Dumbasses.
making sense of
And
this.
that's not
So
even the
what
AI
we know
doing
is
that.
it's
That's
a
the unintelligent
KC-135.
intelligent.
4 dead, 2 missing. What do you make of this claim of it not being hostile, not being friendly? What can you read from that?
Oh, come on. That's the
Yeah, so
okey-doke.
basically what was happening here, Audie,
Is you
is
getting
that
the
this was
okey-doke.
a refueling operation where one of the tankers was refueling another tanker. So there's a variant of the KC-135.
See, that's
that
a
you see
fueling
here in
tanker,
this
so they
picture that
fuel
can
in the
actually,
air.
take fuel from another KC-135. That aircraft,
But
the
guess
one that
what?
was taking fuel, is apparently the
Ain't
one
happening.
that landed
Captain.
safely back in Israel at Ben Gurion Airport. The one that crashed was apparently the one that was dispensing fuel to that other KC-135. The one that landed in Israel, apparently, according to reporting from plane spotters, had damage to what's called its vertical stabilizer. That's basically the tail fin that you see that's vertical in the back of the aircraft, in the rear of the aircraft.
Yeah,
So
these
there
aren't
was
the
damage.
images. I want people to know that these aren't images from that plane, but this is what it would look like, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, the refueling operation is a very intricate affair. What these refuelers do is you can see that boom coming down to the other aircraft, to the fighter that's being refueled
What
there.
up, Radio
That
Cam?
boom is where the fuel comes through. Think of it as the gas tank, as the hose from the gas pump into your gas tank. So this is
Yeah, I'd like to
basically
do that.
doing
Why
what
don't
you
you come
do
on
for
with
your
me?
car. in the air, and those aircraft have to maintain a constant speed, and it has to be the same speed while they're conducting that refueling operation. So this is a very complex task, and it is one of those tasks that
you can do that
where a lot
now.
can go wrong
You can put
very
your number
quickly,
on
and that's
when
why
you
the
send the
training
cash
for
out.
this is usually
You can
quite
put a
rigorous.
message on there.
What are
Like,
you going to be listening
for
for
more
in terms
black
of this
power,
rescue
keep up
effort,
the
right?
good
That
work.
there's 2 more people out there.
Yeah, so this is, it is one of those
And
things
there
where we
it
have
is.
to
Whoop,
be very
there it
careful
is.
with what can happen next. But these accidents are often quite tragic, and it is, unlikely, unfortunately, that the other 2 crew members will be found alive. These crash scenes are terrible crash scenes. What you'll see in most of them is a wide
airplane
field of
crash.
debris that is very hard, if not impossible, to survive.
But highly
this
unlikely.
is it's a tough effort. The crews that are conducting these recovery operations are well trained in these areas, and they are basically conducting the same kind of investigation that you would find with the NTSB when there's a civilian aircraft that crashes here in the United States.
Okay, right now, just 4 are confirmed dead now, and
Y'all
we should be
hear?
clear
There
today.
it is.
The defense secretary will be speaking. That's
4
happening in just a
confirmed
few hours.
dead.
Colonel
Well,
Layton,
that's
thank
just what
you
they want
for
to
being with
confirm
us.
because, they want to keep the propaganda
We are
machine
back with a
going.
special edition of Out Front. We are live in Tel Aviv here in the Middle East, and we are following the breaking news right now. Massive airstrikes, and now a U.S. Air Force refueling plane crashing in Iraq, in western Iraq. U.S. Central Command saying, and I quote, "The incident occurred in friendly airspace during Operation Epic Fury, and rescue efforts are ongoing." 2 aircraft were involved in the incident. 1 of the aircraft went down in western Iraq. The second landed safely. Now, the plane we understand is a KC-135, like the one we're showing you on the screen now, the refueler. I just want to start here with the breaking news because you're getting more details on this crash. This KC-135 refueling aircraft missing. CENTCOM says it went down over western
And just in
Iraq.
case y'all don't understand why they would do that, it's because if you can't get fuel to them planes can't stay in the air. That's how.
But our Pentagon team understand from a U.S. official that the second aircraft was
That's just like if you can't get food to your troops,
refueling aircraft,
they gotta
and
go
at least
home.
5 crew members were on board the one that crashed. Now, search and rescue operations are underway. The aircraft is technically missing at this point.
So they are messing with the water,
questions asked as to
the infrastructure,
how these 2 refueling
and
aircraft,
now
who can often
refueling
operate themselves in the sky, got into this particular
They are playing
incident.
chess,
now, the number of
not
crew
checkers.
on board, 5 in the
And
one
Iranians
that is
are not
indeed missing.
joking
You would
around
normally expect 3 or
like,
4 crew members to be on board a KC-135.
I guess Jared
perhaps
Krishna,
1 or 2 more for navigators.
whatever his name is.
Alternatively, that larger
Trump's
number might suggest
stepson.
it could have been a medical evacuation craft. All unclear at this
Godson,
moment,
I don't
but
know.
still an urgent moment,
Son-in-law
certainly, in which
gave them the
US
good
rescue
advice.
workers
Hey,
are desperately trying
Pop,
to locate
guess what?
these crew
If
members.
you don't get them, they're going to get
you
us.
may, near your position there,
Right in the
close
middle
to
of
Ben Gurion
negotiating.
Airport in Israel, according to some of the open source data
What
we've
a
been seeing
dumbass.
on flight monitors.
At least let
One
them
of those
negotiate.
135s did a lot
I'd
of
have
circling
smacked
near
him in
where
his
you
mouth,
were
sent him
possibly
to his
dumping
room.
fuel, put out an emergency signal earlier on today.
What are you going to do about it? I'll put the Secret Service on them.
Be that second plane, but another, I think, stark reminder.
I said Secret Service beat his ass, and they be like, well, Mr. President. They be like, Mr. President, we can't just beat his ass. He gotta be attacking you. Say, well, if I beat his ass, he gonna attack me. Then you can beat his ass. Say, no, Mr. President, don't work like that.
I mean,
God
damn. Obviously, we don't know a lot about the injured and what is happening more broadly in this war. Thank you very much, Nick Payton Walsh in Amman, Jordan.
Payton Walsh.
And out front now, retired Naval
What a hell of a
Intelligence Officer
name.
and Captain Stephen Haral Nazilafafi, longtime New York Times journalist based in Tehran, who was forced to flee, and our Jeremy Diamond also joining me here in Tel Aviv. Captain Haral, let me just start with you with Nick's reporting. That at least 5 crew members were on the plane that is currently missing, and that the other plane, he's saying, actually could have been circling at Ben Gurion Airport here in Tel Aviv, behind where we are, dumping fuel, possibly from open source information earlier as potentially part of this incident. 5 on board and a missing aircraft. Obviously, it is in the dark of the night over western Iraq right now. We could be looking at more terrible loss of life tonight.
That's correct. And I think, as Nick, I think, pointed out, it highlights it's inherently dangerous business.
I ain't want to be the bearer of bad news.
Ships and submarines at sea.
But damn.
It's inherently dangerous. And our hearts need to go out to those families.
We can't be talking about serial killers and
waiting to hear about their loved
Vito
ones.
Genovese right now.
Anyone whose loved ones
get back to them. Working my way up
as a whole.
in mobster
This
files.
is in
We're
Western
working our
Iraq
way up
in
to
friendly skies, but
Al Capone.
It's a region-wide effort. And
well, see, we started from the beginning of the Cosa Nostra. I was thinking to tell you, man. Actually, they should let the Cosa Nostra handle this. Man, they handle this be over
potentially the other aircraft involved.
Hand it over to the Genovese family.
Here.
No, they still prevalent in New York. The 5 families,
flights,
the
but
commission that
the only aircraft in the sky
Lucky Luciano set up.
And we can see the landing and the takeoff path of those aircraft from Ben Gurion from our position here, and it has been a continuous flow of these.
That's what they said. I'm just repeating what they
said. Even in the
said
days before this attack began from the United States and Israel, it was one of the
one thing for sure. I ain't no snitch.
To happen, at least a
if
dozen,
I knew for sure,
I'd
be like, man, I don't know nothing.
At Ben Gurion Airport.
This is what they report on their own self.
It was an indication that this was going to be.
They must have some power because,
of course, began. I think the next day after we started to see those.
I put on my stuff.
So of course, and it'd be good,
and then they take it down. I put up that mobster stuff. They don't touch it. They don't mess with the mobster stuff at all.
Operating in right now, of course, the very.
They were like, man, we don't care how you do it. See, now I gotta do it all professional and stuff.
There's breaking news in the war tonight.
An American
KC-135
strato tanker,
like this one, has gone down in western Iraq, according to Central Command, which says the aerial refueling plane was not hit by hostile or
gotta follow YouTube
Second
guidelines.
aircraft, which was also involved in the incident, landed safely.
One thing
the
for sure,
tanker had at
that
least
I
5
can do
crew
that
members on
they
board. No word yet on their fate, and a captain.
Wait a minute. I lost the war. We can't lose the war now. I'm the war correspondent. War in Iran.
There's no word yet on what has happened to the at least 5 crew members who were aboard an Air Force refueling plane like this one that went down today
bringing
in
that
western
over
Iraq.
here, though.
And political commentator Adam
They got
Keenan
them,
piloted
they got
these
those
exact
drones.
planes in the Iraq and Afghanistan.
And they're like, man, we're going to aim them
now.
drones at the
so
West
Congressman,
Coast.
you flew this type of plane for 2 years.
Y'all on
including
the
during
West Coast,
combat.
y'all got to
Obviously,
watch your
a
back.
critically
You know what I
important
mean?
aircraft in the fleet of the Air Force. What's your reaction to the news that one has gone down? According to CENTCOM, it was not due to hostile fire or friendly fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible news. Obviously.
It wasn't hostile or friendly.
You know, you're always wondering if you know the crews, but it's been a while since I've flown it. But you know what, the tanker flies. It's inherently safe, but it does do some dangerous things. You know, obviously air refueling. 2 planes are getting very close to each other. And then
they trained to do that. Y'all saw the Blue Angels?
And especially at night.
Well, if you didn't see the Blue Angels, they some bad mud jumpers in them jets.
When you have
they be flying upside down, going directly at each other. And then they both go up in the air at the same time. They actually had
one went down in Afghanistan maybe 10 years ago.
Nobody's
obviously
perfect.
our thoughts and prayers
are
with the crew and the families. Unfortunately, the
stuff like that, you just got to go do it.
Things about 10 or 15
you
years
say, well,
ago
damn, if we're going to practice it, we might as well do it.
And I don't know if this is a
we're going to practice this at the county fair.
I think it's sad that they took them off, unfortunately.
Are there, I mean, what kind of emergency procedures would there be aboard this type of an aircraft?
Parachutes.
So there's emergency procedures for everything except if you end up colliding with another plane, because you never know what that's going to look like, how it's going to happen.
Don't have nothing in the manual about that, boss.
Try to get the plane safely landed as quickly and safely.
So get the manual out quick.
There is a.
What does it say about
actually refueling another aircraft?
Mid-air collisions.
The tanker puts the throttles full forward and climbs while the receiving aircraft
that'd be in the
drops.
M's, right?
I've had a few close
No,
calls on that
dumbass,
one, but
that's
there
in
are
the
procedures,
C's,
but
on the collision.
if this was like an air-to-air flying in formation, they accidentally hit each other. At that point, it's just do everything you can as a crew to get it on the ground, and it sounds like the other aircraft was able, thankfully, to safely land.
You're gonna say on your
Yeah.
good foot.
Well, we hope for the best for
gotta
all
get it
service
on the good
members
foot.
involved, and we'll obviously bring you any news on that as we hear. Congressman, appreciate it.
Bring it on.
Back to our breaking news in the Middle East tonight, as a rescue operation is underway right now after the U.S. military says one of the refueling aircraft that it has went down in western Iraq earlier. One U.S. official is telling us tonight that at least 5 crew members were aboard. And according to U.S. Central Command, the incident was not due to hostile or friendly fire, and that it actually involved 2 Strato
They got
tankers, with
hit
the
by
other
a
aircraft
train.
landing safely. I'm joined tonight by retired Air Force Colonel Cedric Layton. And obviously, Colonel, there's a big question over
Actually,
what happened here.
They
What's
were all
your
shot by the
understanding based on
pilot.
the limited details we do know so far?
Yeah, so it's very interesting, Kate, when you mentioned 2 Strato tankers. So these are 2 tanker aircraft flying together,
And then
one
he
possibly refueling the other
jumped in
for further missions. So this
out
is
of space
basically
in
a
a
gas tank,
parachute.
a flying gas tank that is used to refuel all the aircraft that are engaged in the operations in Iran, all the aircraft that are basically
landed
flying throughout the
safely
Middle
in
East.
Yemen.
So it could not only be U.S. aircraft that they are helping to refuel, but also allied aircraft. So these are very highly trained crews that basically what they do is they have a boom. The top aircraft has a boom that extends down to the bottom aircraft, and that bottom aircraft is the one that then receives the jet
in other
fuel,
words,
and then
sticking it in.
they have to maintain airspeed, the same airspeed when they do it. So it's a very intricate maneuver, and when that maneuver, for
That
whatever
sound like
reason,
some,
cannot be completed, they have certain procedures where
Diddy
they basically
Stein
break
stuff
away
to me.
from the boom, and they basically have to then fly in opposite directions. So that's the kind of thing that may not have happened in this case, and it kind of begs the question as to why one aircraft would crash and the other one land. At first, when I heard the story, I thought there would be a tanker and a fighter aircraft involved, but it may be a different scenario in this case.
Well, and obviously, we're very concerned with the crew on board. We know it's about 5 people. Does this kind of aircraft have the ejection seats?
And we definitely can't laugh about that because the loss of
crews
human life
often
is
do have
definitely
parachutes in some of these
Trump's
aircraft,
fault
but it's very
for
hard to
sending
get
them
out of an
over there.
aircraft like that. They don't have
So if
ejection
anybody
seats
gonna
like a
be
fighter
held
jet
accountable,
have.
it's him.
So it's basically impossible.
But
They,
of
in
course,
essence,
he's
have
gonna
to fly the
throw
airplane as best as they
headset for
can. If
somebody
there's
else
a
under the
mechanical
bus.
malfunction or
Do his
something,
usual
some other
thing.
in-flight emergency, they have to fly it
Fire
in a way
everybody.
that,
Wasn't me.
provides
I
as
took
much
the
safety
advice
as
of idiots.
possible. But it's a very
Damn.
difficult thing to do, especially if there is a weather
Would that
issue
make you?
or if there was some kind of
Idiot.
other issue with the opposite aircraft. So it's a very difficult situation, and it requires a great deal of training to become an operator in that aircraft, especially the boom operator, who's usually a very junior enlisted person or can be a junior enlisted person, and that would mean that these people have worked hard to do this, but they may not have all the experience that a more seasoned person would have. But we don't know yet who the members of the crew were and what the exact circumstances were.
Yeah, and obviously we'll wait to learn more. We'll bring you back when we do. Just thinking about everybody involved. Thank you so much, Colonel.
Okay.
This is CNN Breaking News.
The breaking news this morning, the U.S. military has just confirmed 4 more deaths in the war with Iran. I'm Audie Cornish, and the 4 fallen Americans are crew members of a refueling aircraft that went down in western Iraq. So we're going to get right to it with CNN.
I'm here to bring you the shocking
Paula
content
in Abu
that
Dhabi.
the
Paula,
major
what are the
broadcasters
details
are
if
not
you
going to
have
bring
any
you
about this crash?
because just like Trump said, they're going to give you the fake news,
Well, Audie,
or in this
is
case, they're going to give you the
information coming to us
propaganda
from
news
US
because you know what
Central
time
Command
it is.
confirming
War
that 4 service
time,
members have
as
been
Charleston White
confirmed
said.
deceased. They say that this was as a part of a crash of a refueling tanker. 6 people were on board at the time of the crash in western Iraq. They say that rescue efforts are still continuing, and an investigation into what exactly happened is continuing at this point. They are withholding the names of those individuals for 24 hours until
They're going to make believe it didn't happen. Yeah, no. They'd be like, what tanker? So we know what's up when they with that war stuff. Man, hit my background music. I don't know if I like that one. Put a 1 in the comments if y'all like this background music. I can't rap to it though. I need something with some bass. That sound like that sad shit make you want to cry for the people that died in the tanker. Uh-oh. Hear a little bit of bass. That might be me. I'll take it. Yeah, it's got a beat. I don't know. It sounds like a computer trying to copy what white folks do. Speaking of what white folks do, hold up. You don't have one that's just say black. That might be the black one there. Hand clapping going on. I like hand clapping. But for real. Let's find out what's going on.
Well, one of the things that we've talked about is what happens to the uranium stockpile. We've heard shifting narratives about how the United States is going to try maybe to use ground forces to try to seize some of the 430 kilograms of enriched uranium that Iran possesses, which most of it is believed to be underground at those facilities that were bombed by the United States.
If they have any. They probably don't even have none.
360 AI
And they ain't gonna do that again. They already tried me with that one. But y'all see what's happening. Peace, no justice, no peace. No peace in the Middle East. No more rocks in Palestine. Or bricks off the project at the police line. Now here's something y'all should know. I told you, but y'all don't believe me. Gotta
news revealing Iran's aspirations to conduct a surprise attack specifically against unspecified targets in California. The FBI saying it's warned police departments across the Golden State now of strikes by unmanned aerial vehicles or drones as tensions rise in the Middle East. Let's get straight to our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Kontersky. Aaron, what are you learning?
We've reviewed an alert that came within the last couple of weeks, Kira, just recently, from the FBI to law enforcement agencies up and down the California coastline, warning that Iran is aspiring now to perhaps launch some kind of a retaliatory attack on the U.S. mainland using drones on the West Coast. The alert that we reviewed said an uncorroborated report suggested that unidentified Mexican cartel leaders had authorized attacks using drones carrying explosives, so they know that capability exists. And the separate alert that we've reviewed, Kira, says that Iran has those same kinds of aspirations. So the U.S. has broadly known for some time that drones could be deployed against the homeland. We know that Iran has been using drones significantly in this 12-day-old war with the United States. That's what killed the first 6 U.S. service members in this war. But now the FBI is specifically warning police agencies in California along the Pacific coastline that Iran is aspiring to use them.
And you know where they got it, right? I mean, well, I'll put it like this.
I am deeply concerned about the conference room. What? Conference room.
How's that? He's concerned about the conference room.
I want it thoroughly inspected for hidden devices, microphones, bombs. What?
To attack in the West.
So why California? Why the West?
Good question. And that's not
because
exactly
they
clear.
said so.
But perhaps the
little Eddie Munster-looking motherfucker.
Iran has these things pre-positioned on ships that are
y'all know who I'm talking
in international waters, or that could
float through international
The one
waters.
that be standing
We know
behind
that
Trump,
we've previously reported
looking
here
like,
on Iran's desire to perhaps activate
eyes going
sleeper
all
cells in the
crazy
United
and stuff.
States, although
Goodness
that's
gracious,
certainly
where'd you
far
find this
from
ghoul?
confirmed or far from anything operational as
Oh,
far
that's
as law
right. He
enforcement
from
knows.
India,
it's not clear
Pakistan,
why the
somewhere.
West Coast as opposed to the
And he's
East Coast,
telling
but
Charlie
that's what
Kirk,
the alert from the
I
FBI
want to see
said.
you in Valhalla, my
All right,
friend.
Aaron Katersky
Not
will stay on
knowing
top of
damn
it.
well
Thank you
that
so
the
much.
people
If you
these
need
days
to
are smart
record
enough
anything over the
to
internet,
know
I can
Valhalla is a country club for the rich folks. We already know. But they want to make believe that we the dummies. We ain't dumb.
Airport
check this
as
out.
U.S.
Breaking
destroys
news.
more than a dozen Iranian vessels.
ANP is at the WKRN.com alert desk now with the latest developments on the war in Iran overnight. Megan.
Nikhil, Mark, good morning. In just the last hour, we've learned 2 Iranian drones struck near the Dubai International Airport, wounding 4 people, but flights there have continued. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, an Israeli airstrike came without warning, hurting several people in an apartment building in Beirut. Lebanon's health ministry just announcing in the last few minutes that overnight strikes on the country have killed 14 people and wounded more than 24 others.
Make
Also
sure y'all
overnight,
like,
the U.S.
share,
took
and
out more than a
subscribe.
dozen mine-laying Iranian vessels near the Strait of Hormuz. Iran now vowing to
Ain't gonna
block the
cost you a
region's
thing
oil
to give me a
exports.
thumbs up
The
or a
Pentagon
heart.
also says about 140 U.S. service
Ain't gonna
members have
cost
been
you if you
wounded
mess
in the
around
war,
and give me a
and 7 have been
down
killed.
now.
Remember, News 2
I'll
brings
hunt
you
you
breaking
down,
news
hunt
around the
your
clock
channel
at
down, make you have
WKRN.com.
a brand new channel by morning.
Welcome
I
back,
ain't
everyone.
joking.
With the war
Might
in
sound
Iran
like
now
I'm
in
kidding.
its second week, some Iranians have taken to the streets
Well, I'm
to
just
express their support for the new supreme leader. Crowds chanting "Death to America" and "Death to Israel."
Uh-oh.
These images are a major contrast from the Iranians celebrating in the streets after the death of Ayatollah Khamenei.
Yeah,
Tonight,
there was a
while
lot of
many of
people
those voices
that
may be
wasn't
silent
celebrating.
publicly, ABC
There was
News
a lot
has
of
been
his
obtaining
people was
voice memos from
mourning.
Iranians who have hope
And they
for a future
replaced
without
him
the
with
Islamic
his
Republic.
son.
Our
So
chief
what
foreign
does that
correspondent
say
Ian Pannell
about
reports
all
on
this
their
celebrating? Yeah, who was celebrating?
It was around 1 a.m. All the people in my neighborhood, they were screaming, they were shouting, and it was like
That
a
was their holy
celebration,
man, you know what I
and
mean?
everybody was shouting that
It's like,
Khamenei,
goodness
and
gracious, you
we were so
killed
happy.
the holy man
I saw
on
that
a holy time, Ramadan. That's why they're calling it the Ramadan War, dumbass.
This much suffering and grieving.
Well, I'm calling
They are
them
a
the
cancerous
dumbasses
soul.
on
They
behalf
have
of
to be
the
removed.
people, not the people.
And there was no
I'm
other way.
the
After months of
Black
protesting,
revolutionary
risking their
voice
lives,
of
calling
the
for the
people.
downfall of the regime.
So on behalf of
news
the people,
came like a thunderbolt. The supreme leader,
fudge that.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, had been killed.
A short time ago, President Trump confirming Iran's supreme leader is dead.
Hope was rekindled for the tens of thousands still mourning those murdered by the regime during protests earlier this year. ABC News has been trying to connect with Iranians on the ground to get a sense of what their life has been like since the war began. Those who sent messages remain anonymous, and some voices altered for their safety. When the war began, the regime once again cut off internet and communications across the country, controlling its people along with their messages of resilience.
I think it was the second day of the war when they were hitting the state television headquarters and Tehran's IRGC base. I actually woke up thinking that was an earthquake that hit Tehran.
We are hopeful, and we are waiting for the day that this country will be free. To be honest, the life is not how it used to be, but the supermarkets, the grocery stores are open, and we have electricity, we have running water, and we hear the attacks like every 3 or 4 hours, and some days maybe less. But I can say the sound, it keeps us going. We are grateful for this opportunity, and we are waiting.
Well, in my eyes, it's official. Trump is that drunk uncle that be at the picnic starting fights with family members. Say, hey, man, so I remember what you did back in 1954. Man, why are you bringing up 1954? That was a long time ago. See, that's Trump. That's Trump for you. Starting shit. It's like whatever family member bring him, no, they're going to catch hell from the other family members. It's like as soon as he walk in, you can hear the music playing, but ain't nobody talking. It's like, man, silence come over the room. It's like like one of them old westerns where he walk in the saloon and the piano player stop playing. People start running out that mug, you know. It's like goddamn gunslinger or something. Actually, I'm gonna be real with you. I can compare him to Vito Genovese because Lucky Luciano, he tried to start a commission, right? Where you bring all the families together, which is actually a very good idea for us Panthers to do. Bring all the families together under one umbrella. Whereas if you have any major decisions, wait a minute, hold on, I should be on the camera. Yeah. So if you have any major decisions, you have to go through the commission. And especially if you're trying to bump off a country, that's like, man, you trying to bump off of my boss. You know what I mean? You need permission from the commission to do that. In other words, Congress. And then once the commission give you permission, then they send it over to Murder Inc., the Marines. So he didn't even do it by the book. He just overlooked Congress, sort of like Vito Genovese kind of overlooked the commission, and that's where he made his mistake. But we ain't going to talk about him. We're going to talk about the war. But that's just to give y'all an idea of what we got coming to you on the Mobster Files, because I'm telling you now, y'all don't know what gangster shit is.
For the day that we can go out to the streets and get back our country from the Islamic regime.
We check the news, we try to keep the connection to the satellite TVs and by the phone, although we are in a total blackout and the slightest connection that we have is very insecure, but we try to be informed.
President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu have both encouraged the Iranian people to rise up when the bombing stops. But the security forces are still in control of the streets, angry at the supreme leader's death and US-Israeli attacks.
It's very scary because they all have guns and they are very furious now because they have lost the supreme leader, and we are very happy about that. We celebrate it, we drink, and we have parties in our houses, but it is very, very dangerous outside. Everybody from the regime and IRGC has the gun. Most of them are very ugly and furious, and they have a free will to shoot everybody.
A woman who was in Tehran during the first week of the war telling us her home was close to a few regime targets. And as the attacks went on, the days got darker.
The house was shaking. I don't know, a few seconds later when they finally hit the target, and the blast wave was so strong that the doors and windows frames were about to fall out of their place, and it was very, very, very scary. The atmosphere in Tehran is much, much scarier than the first days now, and many people are scared. I really, really think that the conditions are getting harder every day for those who stayed in Tehran. We are worried that maybe this war stops before the complete regime change, and we want this war as a help, as Mr. Trump has promised us.
I hope people would come inside and see Iran and enjoy, and we can show them the true Persian hospitality. I want the world to know that The whole Iran situation is caused by 47 years of Islamic Republic ruling. Started with Khomeini.
People were anticipating these attacks and understood the cost. I know it's sad, but people were in favor of this attack and still are. The mission is clear, a free Iran. And I assume by now everyone knows this deeply entrenched, heavily armed regime could not be removed by the sheer force of protests. Foreign intervention was needed. People in Iran are not idiots. We don't think Trump or anyone is doing this for human rights only. We have to work with what we have. Every life lost matters beyond words, and we'll get to mourning every single one that's passed away throughout the past few months.
With the death toll now over 1,000 and rising, many still appear to support the war, but it remains highly questionable whether this will be a trigger for ordinary Iranians to take back their country.
This records conversations better than taking.
No warning, I'm constantly deep in the underground. Like DMJ said, I ain't fucking around. Don't give a fuck what they say. I'm coming in politely. So don't play, tread lightly. Justice and me is both blind, see. Didn't come to run away. Stand out the box, baby, baby. I came to stay, make a plan for a better way today. I got stuff. Get my RPG nation about this situation that we're in. They got me running the circle. Can I get a sip or a light real quick? They're making shit get real big. But no warning. I'm coming. Knee deep in the underground. Like GJ say, we ain't fucking around. I'm a renegade. Never drink no haterade. It's just how I'm made. Sharp as a razor blade. Brown man still a bad mother for you. Real deal, like something you feel. And you speak ill of me, like the F told the G. If it ever wasn't me, get ready for therapy. They never know I'm a phantom night rider. In it for the people. Project Urban Gorilla. In the struggle, yo. Changing up the game on these lanes. Peak game. Flunk off half a glass of thing. Well, fill up your cup. If that's your thing. But me, I wasn't hit. This ain't no game. You never saw me, cuz I never came. That's them little white lies that they claim. But you know what I say? No warning! We coming! Knee deep in the underground. Like GMJ say, we ain't fucking around. Time to stand on up. I didn't stutter. I ain't got to get gangsta up in here and stick up Wild Bill Hiccup. The homies know we got to click up, show enough. And the brakes get picked up. Ain't so tough when the hood rough you up. Shout to Ice. If looks could thrill the hood man of steel, we both been lied to. Let's keep it real. I'm Morpheus. In my black power fist is a black power pill. For the resurrection of the mental dead. Like Shabaka said, plug that shit back in their head.